Alexandra Van Horn, who is known as the Live Well Long Coach. She is a speaker and author of 3 books, Minister of Spiritual Counseling. Alexandra Van Horn inspires others to own their God-given abilities to create a life that they love. She's an ordained minister, life and health coach, and former massage therapist, and has inspired and helped others reach for and achieve their dreams since 1995. This next piece of her bio, I'm actually going to let her tell you herself. Welcome, Alexandra.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here, really. We are such powerful beings, but I did not always know this. There was a time back in 1988 when I did not understand how powerful we really are with the power of our thoughts and words. Now, at the time, I was just beginning to study the power of the mind, meditation, and spirituality. And at that time, my sons were little. My youngest was not even walking yet. So he was scooting around the house in a baby walker. And we lived in a house in New Jersey that had a basement. And my 2 older sons, who were about 3 and 5 years old at the time, they kept going down to the basement to play, and they kept leaving the basement door open. And I kept saying, quite ignorantly, not realizing the power of my words, one of these days he's going to go down those stairs. One of these days he's going to go down those stairs. Now, the day before this event that I'm about to describe, we were expecting company, and my sons had been playing with a mattress from a rollaway cot. It's like about 3 inches thick. And in my haste to clean up, you know, when companies come in, it's like, oh, quick, let's clean up, right? In my haste to clean up, rather than bringing the mattress back upstairs where it belonged, I tossed it down the basement stairs. And the next day, I'm in the kitchen, and all of a sudden I hear, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And lo and behold, my youngest son was bouncing down the basement stairs in his walker. And he landed, thank God, on the mattress. This was a plain cement floor. I cannot even imagine. I don't even want to think what would have happened if that mattress had not been there. Do I believe in angels or Holy Spirit or infinite intelligence? Call it what you want. You bet I do. You bet I do. And I believe that my son and I were being protected that day. I believe my angels were working overtime to help me learn a lesson. I became immediately aware that my words are creative and that I should definitely choose my thoughts and words deliberately and carefully. Now, from that moment on, I was a changed person. I became so vigilant of my thoughts and words, and I used my learning to craft the life that I would love, eventually fulfilling dreams of travel, dream homes, a beautiful horse, and even actually my present home, living in South Florida. That was one of my dreams that it just happened by my thinking and, of course, taking action. It wasn't always easy because old habits like limited thinking, they die hard. And I did become a widow 3 years later at 36 when my sons were 4, 6, and 8. So the challenges sure seemed harder. The mountains seemed steeper. And raising my 3 sons on my own, and I put that in quotes because we're never really alone, and I did have help from wonderful friends, which was wonderful. But I do know from experience, we are never really alone. I used to liken it to trying to ride a bicycle. You know, when you were a kid, did you ever try to ride a bicycle with just pushing one pedal? I did. I was one of those kids. But that's what it felt like, raising 3 sons by myself. I would think, this is just not going to happen. There needs to be somebody else here. But there wasn't, and I got through it. But there were times when my head was spinning with the demands of figuring out how to get my 3 boys to all their various activities. And I would literally stop, walk away from the chaos, go into the bathroom, close the lid on the toilet, because that's the only place I could be private in the house, sit down and meditate until my mind found some form of peace and guidance to come, like so I could kind of manage how to deal with the conflicting activities. And of course, at the time, they would stand in the driveway when I would do this, and they say, oh no, she's going to go meditate, you know. But it worked. It worked. It really helped. So there were years of study and practice and workshops that I took and trial and error, but always that awareness that my thoughts and words were creative and that there was unseen help. That never left me. I mean, from time to time, I'd forget, but it was always there, like, oh yeah, wait, I didn't ask for help. I didn't trust. I eventually went on to seminary and ordinations, ministry, and life coaching. My mission since that life-changing event in 1988 has been to lead others to deliberately create their lives through my coaching and workshops. Sometimes it's just through conversations, sometimes through actual workshops. And that is my true fulfillment. Now, I have a free gift for you, 5 tips for creating a life you love. So just click the link that I'm going to put in the chat in 1 second, as soon as I'm done, and you'll get an instant download. Now, remember, you are very powerful. We are all powerful. And whether you realize it or not, just like I was creating with my words powerfully prior to my son falling down the stairs, now I choose how to use my power for the life that I want. And that's why I want to support you and give you the gift of using your thoughts, your words, and your power for what you really want, rather than defaulting to what you don't want. So click the link in the chat.